Hello degenerates and welcome back to another NIKKE video. As usual, I'm on vacation. Just a small reminder during this week while I make videos that the setup is different, it might sound different, it will be looking different and a bit slower. The laptop handles most of the stuff fine, but just to let you guys know. That said, there are some kits posted. I have not checked them yet, so we are literally going in blind to check them. Which is a bad idea, by the way. But we will be checking all three kits in this video. I thought about making three different videos, but I don't think I want to, at least at the moment, not have a lot of time, so I just rather make one big video going over all three of them. So let's check what's going on first with the SR character, as usual, to see what's going on with our favorite non-usable character, and then we'll check the rest. I don't have a mouse, by the way. I'm just using the touchpad of the laptop, so this might be a bit uncomfortable to read. Hopefully it's good enough. Supporter, submachine gun, B2, iron, 20 seconds at least. Okay. So, skill 1, Persona Palladion, activates at the start of the battle, affecting herself. She will be having a continuous effect that cannot be removed. Aigis strengthens herself using her persona, giving her attack and defense. Okay, absolutely useless on the defense part. The attack is nice, it's at 20% if it was a necessary character. For her, considering the level, considering the stat gap and everything else, not as good. Then we have a skill 2, activates when using a burst skill as long as this unit is still alive. So she does not have to burst, okay? Appeal on her. This effect is continuous and cannot be removed. Function, Aegis, okay. She strengthens her allies, giving them to everyone 21% attack of the skill's user attack continuously, and also the defense. So she basically gives herself the attack and defense, and when someone bursts, she will give them the same to everyone else, only for the full burst duration, so 10 seconds. It's not awful, but again, a 20% attack is not enough to be considering bringing her. Now, if you are a new player, you can actually bring Aegis. You can bring her and use her until you get other characters, because that 20% extra attack will be helping you as a new player. But that's like assuming you have, like, 10 characters on your account. But the moment you play for a few days, then she will go out of the team 100%, and then her burst dealing some damage, 396% of final attack as distribute damage. Interesting. Okay, so that's Aegis. Nothing interesting. Like I was saying, it's a pity that it's an SR character, because we knew from the get-go it was not going to be an interesting kit itself. Then we have Yukiko Amagi using a machine gun and having a couple pictures here to go through. My god, this is slow. The laptop like handles NIKKE well, at least in terms of like gameplay itself. I can do my edits and whatnot, but when it comes to recording and having multiple things open, it does struggle a little bit more. Now, rant aside, Yukiko, B3 attacker machine gun fire, skill 1, another persona skill, activates at the start of the battle, affecting herself. She will have this effect continuously and cannot be removed, and she will heal her allies using her persona. Okay, B3 healer. Activates every 3 seconds, affecting all allies, restoring HP equal to 5.7% of the skilled user final max HP. Not awful. This has a few synergies we can use with, and also 5.7% is actually decent as a heal per self every 3 seconds. On a 3-minute fight, this is an actual nice sustain. That's nice. We don't have a lot of B3 healers. We have Helm, we have Quiri. I'm probably missing someone else. Mana. That's the third one. Is there any other B3 healer? Well, now we have Yukiko as well. Not awful for the first skill. Activates at the start of the battle and when full burst ends, affecting herself, giving herself 63% attack for 15 seconds. This does not deactivate on full burst, meaning you probably will be able to have a really good uptime on this skill. It might not be 100% for the simple fact that some bosses, you guys know, move around a lot, and in those situations you might actually have to, lose this and wait until the next rotation, but it's not going to be a lot of downtime. So that 63% attack, it's going to be really high uptime, not 100%, but almost. And then activates when one more takes effect, affecting all enemies. One more. I'm blind at the moment. That's not here, so I assume it's a skill 2 or the burst. Dealing 400% of final attack as distribute damage. Okay, what is that one more? Scarlet Flower and Maradiki. Oh my god, these names, guys. I'm butchering them. I'm sorry. Okay, I don't know where this... okay, one more is on the burst. So let's check a skill 2 first, and then the burst skill. Skill 2 is Secret Flower. if I can zoom in, perfect. I look like a 90-year-old grandpa with the laptop. Activate at the start of the battle, affecting herself. Attack damage increase 55% continuously. Alright, huge buff already in here. Activates when using burst skill, Scarlet Flower. This effect is continuous and cannot be removed. Yukiko strengthens herself every 3 seconds, affecting all allies. Wait, what you mean strengthen herself, but it's to all allies? Okay, it's fine. She will restore HP once again. Okay, so this is the function again for the Scarlet Flower. And then the second effect is going to be the Fire Amp. Distribute damage increase 90% for herself continuously. This effect cannot be removed. And then for herself, once again on the effect 3, Scarlet Protection. Damage taken from water code enemies reduced by almost 18% continuously. Cannot be removed, and when the full burst ends, it will be deactivating. She also gains elemental advantage attack damage, almost a 50% for 10 seconds when entering burst stage 3. This means you do not have to burst with her in order to gain this. So every rotation, she's gaining this elemental advantage 50% increase. Really good. Activates when one more takes effect, the burst. Affect all standard burst 3 allies. What is it? Standard burst 3? What was it? This is something new. No idea what this means. Activates all, affects all standard burst 3 allies except the skill user in the persona states. Follow-up increases attack by 80% for 25 seconds. This is pretty nice, honestly. And it's 25 seconds, so it's not like, you know, you will not be able to keep up this on a huge uptime just like a skill 1, because 25 seconds, you have more than enough time to do your full burst rotation. 10 seconds, 15 seconds left. You will be going into the next rotation. And then not 100% uptime, but you will have, maybe a couple seconds of downtime until you can burst again. She'll be fine. And then her burst skill, 40-second cooldown, the usual, dealing 1.2k of final attack at distribute damage, and one more, which will increase attack 45% only if a wind code enemy is present. So this is an elemental character. Yukiko will be a really strong elemental fire DPS. Also for wind weak enemies, for this burst skill, this 45%, because this also means that if there is no wind code enemy, she is losing part of her kit, because she will be losing this attack right there, and she is also losing on the first skill right here, this extra 400% of distribute damage, which is more damage, right? We do like more damage. I do like her kit quite a bit. I think it's pretty interesting. I thought they were going to be shafting the characters, but it looks like this is a nice fire damage dealer. If you are a fire main, you are pulling for her 100%. Like, there is no way you are skipping her. If you're not a fire main, could you skip her? I think she's going to be doing well even on neutral if we remove parts of her kit. But obviously, if you are not a fire main and you don't care about Yukiko or the persona collab itself, you could be skipping, but nah, are you gonna be skipping limited characters? I think that is a bad idea. That's just me though, that's just me. And now let's go into the last character, which is gonna be Queen, aka Makoto, using a shotgun. I'm curious on the shotgun, honestly, because is it gonna be on the shotgun team, a staple, or is this going to be just a character we don't care about and is gonna be the one getting shafted for this collab? Let's check it. Makoto, B3, attacker, shotgun fire, basic stuff on the ammo reload, just like the other characters. Skill 1, the persona skill. Let's check. Activates at the start of the battle, affecting herself. Persona, Joanna, this effect is continuous and cannot be removed. Function, Queen Makoto strengthens herself using her persona. Nuke boost, elemental damage attack damage increased by 13% continuously. This effect cannot be removed, alright, and then she will also gain defense 14% continuously and cannot be removed, so both defense and attack on most of these characters. Activates at the start of the battle, and when full burst ends, affecting herself, attack increased by 50% for 15 seconds. Once again, this is when full burst ends. She does not need to burst herself, which means you will be able to have almost 100% uptime on this, unless the boss moves a lot. And then activates when one more takes effect. Okay. Is this on her, or is this one more from our previous character? We'll check her burst skill on a second. In fact, let me really quickly do this. No, she also has one more. Okay, so it's on her own. I don't think this is gonna be proccing. Oh, that would be actually good though, if you can pair them together and one more takes effect both times, like on every rotation. That means they are made to be used together, and that you could just be getting a lot more damage. We will see tonight. Activates when one more text effect affects all enemies, dealing 548% of final attack at distribute damage. Activates when follow-up text effect, same thing, doing 549 basically percent of final attack at distribute damage. Pretty nice skill 1, pretty strong. We're seeing more elemental content. Once again, you guys know NIKKE has been moving towards elemental content for a long time already, so it's kind of expected. The only universal DPSs we usually get are the pilgrims. Skill 2, Fist of Justice, and then the burst is a 40-second, the usual. So let's check skill 2 first. Skill 2 activates at the start of the battle, affecting herself. Attack damage increased by 30% continuously. Pretty good, just like the previous character. Previous character was more, but then again, the weapon type differences make for that difference, right? Activates when using burst skill, affects self. Fist of Justice. This effect is continuous and cannot be removed again. And she gets, once again, the same thing, okay? She gets the elemental, but this time for 25%, and the defense goes to 17% instead, going up a little bit. And this deactivates when the first burst ends. Activates when entering burst stage 3, so once again, you do not need to be bursting with her. She increases her own distribute damage 90%. Are we going to be pairing them with the mates? Is this going to be like a new mate team we are running with Makoto and I forgot the name of the other girl? That would be nice. That means SBS is getting retired on fire rates. And we have these instead. Okay. And then activates when one more text effect, affecting all standard burst 3 allies. We still don't know what this is, except the skill user in the persona state. Baton Pass attack increased by 35% for every one of the skill user attack continuously. It stacks up to 3 times. That is really good. And there is no time for this. So this means you are getting for free this fully stacked, okay, fully stacked out, not super fast because you need to do this 3 times, but these 3 times every other rotation, right? Because you cannot burst with her every single time to get this one more, unless you can get the one more while you are bursting with the other character, because they both have the one more mechanic or name on the burst, right? Same for her. So if you could benefit from that, that would be huge. I don't think it's going to be the case, but we'll see. Her burst itself is doing pretty good damage, affecting all enemies, dealing 1.4k of final attack at distributes damage. And then if a wind code enemy is present, she gets the one more, which not only gives her attack, but will be giving everyone else as well attack with this baton pass. All in all, once again, they look like... Oh, I don't want to be dragging that. Oh my god. They look like really good fire characters, and it was kind of needed. If we're talking about fire characters, it's been a long time since we got some fire characters, and they both look like they are going to be strong units. If we're talking about B3s for fire, right, like specifically B3s for character, they do look like, in my opinion, they could be competing with Mihara and Diesel no problem, as long as you can take advantage of their kit. I expect them to be a T2 rather than a T1, unless they surprise us and they, you know, go down the drain into a T3 category instead. But they do look strong. I like them. I think they will be able to get a lot of usage as long as that, you know, it's always against wind weak enemies and bosses to be able to use that one more mechanic. Outside of that, once again, as usual, if you don't care about abnormal characters, if you don't care about the Persona collab, or you're not a fire main, you probably are not breaking your account. But always wait until we can actually test in game, because this is just me yapping before tonight, where we can actually test the characters. All right, that said, I do not know if I will be streaming the pools or not tonight, because again, you know, my brother's wife does work tomorrow and the patch drops at midnight, and I don't want to be the guest that's an asshole yelling at 2 a.m. pulling for the Persona characters. It will be fun, but I don't want to be the asshole, right? So I don't know if I'll stream, but you guys will be getting videos as usual tomorrow, and the website updated with everything. That's it. That's everything for this video. As usual, love you all bastards. Have a good day. Good luck with your pool generates, and I'll see you on the next one.